up, y'all? Jesse Wiggins checking in, Bass University once again. Super fun to get to do this stuff, get to kind of dive into the details, I guess you can say, of our setups, how we fish, secrets of the pros. You know, I was watching Bass U, way before I even started doing these videos, getting these little nuggets that I can use on my home lake or a lake I'm going to fish. So excited to get to tell y'all about some of this stuff and tell y'all exactly how I do it. And so this one today is, we've labeled it Southern style cranking. It's, if you can tell, I got a little Southern twang in my voice. So that's where I live down there. And, I grew up fishing a crankbait. And, I grew up the time Kevin Kevin Van Dam was just blowing everything out with his cranking. And, we grew up always doing it. My dad loved to do it, and we would always we'd always crankbait. But when I got to watch Kevin and all them do it on TV, like me and my brother really got infatuated with it, and we wanted to know like the details of it. And so we've learned this through watching other guys, and I've also learned it through real-time experience, being on the water, seeing how the fish react or whatever it may be. So when I tell some of this stuff, I'm not trying to say that I know this, that I've learned all this. This is stuff that pros have done for years and that I've learned from. And then also I've used that and figured out my best setup. So I'm gonna walk you through some of my setups, what I look for, areas I look at, the depths, all the details you want to know for crankbait fishing. So let's get started. So to start off with, mid-depth to deep cranking has, there's not a year time frame to do it, like a time of year. There's not a season. You can do it practically year-round in the South because we're always getting to fish. The lakes are not froze, so you always can do it. There's a couple weeks in the year where there's always going to be, 90% of the fish are going to be spawning, but most of the time there's some fish in that mid-depth to cranking, the deep cranking, depth range. So some of my favorite cranking is always either the wintertime or the summertime post spawn. That's probably when I've did the most of it. And the main reason that is because the fish are grouped up. They're like in wintertime, and then obviously post spawn, along the Tennessee River and then other lakes in the South. So you want the fish to be grouped up to really have the most success, with the mid depth to the deeper crankbait. So we'll just get into it, my gear, my setup first, what I use, what I've perfected over the years. And I'm gonna go with a St. Croix 7'4" medium heavy legend glass. So that's a 100% glass rod. It's not composite, 100% glass. And the sensitivity that St. Croix has got with that rod, it really blows my mind, because I've used a ton of glass rods, throughout the years, because that's the key for a crankbait. And the reason what you use that glass for is when you're cranking, when that fish eats that treble hook bait, the fish eats the bait and you're not immediately just ripping trebles out of its mouth. And it's not necessarily giving them time. Like some people say, give it time. It's not giving them time. It's just the where when you lean into them, that stiff rod, if you got a super stiff rod, it's going to rip a bigger hole in their mouth with those hooks. So you don't want that. You want something that just sweeps into them with a treble hook. And and this is kind of off topic, but we've got to where we're starting to use that kind of tip, top water baits, anything with an open treble hook, you want to use that softer tip. Jerkbait especially, I've got to where I'm using that. So it's not just cranking, but that's the main deal with cranking, is having the right setup. And so that 7'4", I'm talking about my mid-depth to my deeper cranking. The 7'4" medium heavy is the one I found that does awesome. Like I said, 100% glass rod.